Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute needle felt penguin. Let's get started. So first you'll get some white roving and kind of form it into a puffy ball with your hands. That looks pretty good. And then pick up your felting needle and start poking away. So poke it nice and deep and rotate your ball as you kind of poke it from all different angles. And slowly you'll see that the shape kind of starts holding itself and you'll have a ball. Continue poking your white ball from different angles. And now let's take a look at our penguin design. So it's an oval shape with a flatter bottom. So I want to start working towards that. And it looks like it's pretty much, it's an oval. So I'm gonna have this side be the bottom part. I'm gonna start giving it a few extra pokes to create a flat surface so that my penguin can stand on its own. All right, I think the base looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with its body. I'm going to start adding our black roving to create its little face. I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to start with the center of its face, kind of like that little pointy part where its beak will stand. I'll kind of lay it down right here and give it a few pokes to attach this black roving to the white body. With just a few pokes, the black roving gets attached, and I'll start moving it around to form the other contours of our penguin's face. So I'll lay down some roving, I'll move it around with my needle to the right place I need it to be, and then give it a few pokes to attach. All right, so I've got the main part of its face complete. The rest of the roving, I'm going to start laying that down on top of the penguin's head to start creating the other black parts of its body. That looks pretty good. Now taking thin layers of roving, I'll continue to lay it down on the back of the penguin to cover up its entire backside. And now I'm going to start creating its arm, kind of like how we created its face. I'll lay down the roving, move it around with my needle, and then poke and attach. All right, I've created both of its arms now. I'm going to work on continue covering the back of our penguin. And now we're going to move on to making our penguin's beak. I'm taking a little bit of yellow roving, forming it into a ball. That looks about right. I know it looks a little bit big, but remember, once you poke your roving, it does get denser and smaller. I'm going to work on my sponge here and start poking it, forming its shape, rotating it as I go. Make sure to pick it up from your sponge every now and then so that you don't embed your piece into the sponge. All right, so our beak, it's able to hold its own shape now. It's still pretty fuzzy, but I want to start attaching it to our penguin's face and continue shaping it once it's attached. So I'm gonna give it a few deep pokes to attach our yellow beak onto the penguin's face. So a few nice deep pokes from different angles. I'm kind of going around the beak to attach it. I'm also going to use my needle to kind of tuck in these yellow fibers to make the beak more neat. I'll continue poking on my penguin's beak to make the shape more clean and dense. I'm also going to work on the contours of its face, a few extra pokes here and there to kind of clean up, make the lines more clear. That looks pretty good, and we can start making its eyes. Taking a tiny bit of roving, I'm going to roll it into a tiny little bit between my fingers. Again, that looks a little bit large, but once we poke it in, it will get smaller, and if it's too small, we can always add more roving to give it bigger eyes. Just a little poke, and there you go. And the same thing on the other side, we're going to give it its other eye. And there you go, your little penguin friend is complete. I hope it brings you a lot of joy. Some other things you can consider doing with your penguin is to take a needle and thread and then make your penguin into an ornament, kind of like what I did with this black bird here. You can also take some blush from your makeup and apply it with a Q-tip, like what I did for this unicorn.